Well, hey there, pedal people. It's the Pedal Guy here. How are ya? Today what we're going to do is we're going to cover the NuX Cerberus. But before we get started, please take a minute to click on that subscribe button down there so that you can stay up to date with all of the great videos that we have on our YouTube channel. Also, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button as well. Okay, so what is the Cerberus? Well, the Cerberus is, for the Pedal Guy, one of the hottest selling products we've got on our site right now. We have a very hard time keeping up with this because it's an extremely popular piece and very much in demand. And there's no surprise really, because there's a lot of bang for the buck here for the price point. So before we take a look at the back of the Cerberus to see what we got going on back there, let's talk about what is going on here. So just the very basic layout. So you have a overdrive, you have a distortion. These are both analog with both with truth bypass. You have a modulation section, which has chorus and modulation effects. And then you also have a delay section, which has delay and it has reverb. Additionally, you have impulse responses. So you've got a cab button, so you can make it sound like it's playing through a cabinet. Or so that's very useful if you're going to go off to an audio interface or if you're going to go off to a mixer of some kind. You have several routing options for the distortion and the overdrive. You have routing options for the reverb and delay. You also have the ability to control specific parameters with the control button down here in the bottom right. You can also press and hold this and it will turn on the tuner so that you can tune your guitar. And you also have your tap tempo as well as the access to your presets. And you can use both of these buttons to scroll up and down. You also have a readout here, which gives you, which keeps you up to date with everything that's going on the Cerberus as you make adjustments. So as you can see, I'm making an adjustment to the level here on the drive, and that's being reflected here. You have several presets built in. You have a lot of room to work with as far as making your own presets. So let's take a look at the back now so you can see what's going on. Okay, so on the back of the Cerberus, we're going to start from left to right. Of course, if you're looking down at the Cerberus, you're actually going from right to left, but hey, who's counting? All right, let's first start with the expression pedal. You have an expression pedal input. It means you can plug in an expression pedal, perhaps maybe the Soul Press from Hot Tone, which we unboxed a little while ago. That might be a lot of fun to work with. You also have a input and an output for the overdrive distortion section. You have a ground lift. And you also have a boost, which gives you up to 20 dB of additional boost. So let me just zoom in there so you can see that. Okay, so there you go, 20 dB of boost. Now, if you're wondering why there's an output here, well, it's very simple. This product supports what's called the 4-cable method, which allows you to, through 4 cables, introduce additional effects into your Cerberus setup. Or there's a bunch of different things you can do with it, but that's one of the main things you can do. So in this section here, this is the beginning of the 4 cables method, where you plug your guitar in here, and then if you want to go to another effect, before it goes to the other effects, what you can do is you can take this output and route it out to another pedal if you want to, and then have it go right back into the Cerberus further to the right here. Or if for some reason you just want to have just the distortion without any impulse responses or anything like that at all, you can just go right out of here straight into the amp if you'd like. Moving a little further, we have a USB port, and this can be used to connect your Cerberus to the computer to specifically load in new impulse responses with the IR loader and achieve or access some of the other functions of the Cerberus directly from your computer. You also have MIDI in and out. And then here to the right, we have the modulation, delay, and reverb section. So here is the input. So from the 4-cable method, if it was going to go back into the Cerberus from another pedal, it would simply be plugged in right here. Now you have a level switch that goes between plus 4 dB and negative 10 dB. Since we're going to the audio interface, I'm going to keep it at plus 4 dB. Here's your input, the aforementioned input. And then you have output 1, output 2, and then your headphones. Now your headphones is pretty self-explanatory. It's a headphone output. Then you have output 1 and output 2. Now both of these can go to 2 separate amps if you want to. They could both go to 2 separate mixer channels if you want to, But here's the trick. If you're going to use impulse responses, the impulse response is only going to go out of output 2. So when I turn this around and plug it back in, we're going to be going from output 2 into the audio interface so that we can make use of the impulse responses. And for more information on impulse responses, there's a lot of videos out there on the subject, and certainly we'll do some videos here too, but just very simply put, the impulse responses is it's a capture of a speaker within a cabinet, so that you can make it actually samples the cabinet, the speaker itself. So what you can do is you can apply that to your sound and make it sound as though you're playing through a cabinet. And I'll show you why that is so important soon. So that is the back of the Cerberus. So now let's go ahead and let's get started into the other sections of the Cerberus, starting with the controls here on the far right. That's it for this part of the tutorial. Be sure to go to the next video in this playlist to learn more about the Cerberus.